Balalaika. Like the history of the Ushanka, the history of appearance of the balalaika is rooted in Central Asia. The prototype of the balalaika is considered to be the dombra, a folk two-stringed plucked musical instrument. Until the end of the 19th century, the balalaika had nothing in common with the musical instrument that you imagined. Initially, the balalaika was rounded and had only two strings. However, in 1883, thanks to the musical educator Vasily Andreev, the design of the musical instrument was significantly transformed and received a triangular shape and a third string. Moreover, the patent for the invention of the balalaika was obtained in Germany even later by one of the masters, Paserbsky, who worked on the transformation of the balalaika. In other words, Lenin was born 30 years earlier than the usual instrument, and it seemed that her drills always filled the expanses of Russian fields. Ushanka. It's believed that its Mongolian Malahai was a distant prototype of the Ushanka head. Initially, it was a pure cone, which eventually received cuts on the sides. However, the modern look of the Ushanka acquired after the civil war in Russia at the beginning of the 20th century. The original version this time was not a medieval Mongolian Malahai, but a lightweight version of the head of the polar explorer Fridtjof Nansen. In the White Army, hats with a similar cross cut were created, and after the war in the early 30s, the Ushanka finally got the look that is familiar to us today. In 1930, the Ushanka became officially the winter headdress of the armed forces. By the way, words like Ushanka or Shapka are included in the Oxford Dictionary. Matryoshka. It's no longer a secret that Matryoshka is a clone of Japanese doll Daruma. The doll itself and the rituals associated with it come to Japan during the Edo period. The idea of the Matryoshka doll belongs to the artist Sergei Malutin, who saw the Daruma doll in the house of the patron Mamontov in the 19th or the 19th century. The choice of the name for the toy is also noteworthy. Matryoshka comes from the name Matryona, which in turn contain the mother. That perfectly reflects the whole essence of the toy, the biggest, the mother, and children. In other words, the Matryoshka was even younger than the balalaika. Palekh painting. Not to be confused with Zhostovo painting, which is known by its beautiful three-dimensional flowers on a dark background. Zhostovo painting has existed since 1825, but Palekh painting appeared exactly 100 years later. The Association of Artists of the Village of Palekh in the Article of Ancient Painting in 1924. The village itself is known for its artists who have been engaged in icon painting since the 18th century. However, after the revolution of 1970, they needed to find a new realization of creativity. Already in June 1932, the Article of Ancient Painting employed more than 100 people, including 48 masters. The article presented its works in France and Italy, where they were highly appreciated.